Canto 2. Day was departing, and the dusk drew on, loosing from labor every living thing save me in all the world. I alone must gird me to the wars, rough travelling, and pity's sharp assault upon the heart, which memory shall record, unfaltering. Now, muses, now high genius, do your part, and memory, faithful scrivener to the eyes, here show thy virtue, noble as thou art. I soon began, Poet, dear guide, 'twere wise, surely, to test my powers, and weigh their worth ere trusting me to this great enterprise. Thou sayest the author of young Silvius' birth did to the world mortal go, clothed in the body of flesh he wore on earth. Granted, if hell's great foemen deigned to show to him such favor, seeing the vast effect, and what and who his destined issue. No, that need surprise no thoughtful intellect, since to Rome's fostering city and empery high heaven had sealed him as the father elect. Both these were there established, verily, to found that place, holy and dedicate, wherein great Peter's heir should hold his see, so that the deed thy verses celebrate taught him the road to victory, and bestowed the papal mantle in its high estate. Thither the chosen vessel in like mode went afterward, and much confirmed thereby the faith that sets us on salvation's road. But how should I go there? Who says so? Why? I'm not Aeneas, and I am not Paul. Who thinks me fit? Not others, and not I. Say I submit and go. Suppose I fall into some folly. Though I speak but ill, thy better wisdom will construe it all. As one who wills, and then unwills his will, changing his mind with every changing whim, till all his best intentions come to nil. So I stood, havering in that moorland dim, while through fond rifts of fancy oozed away the first quick zest that filled me to the brim. If I have grasped what thou dost seem to say, the shade of greatness answered, these doubts breed from sheer black cowardice, which day by day lays ambushes for men, checking the speed of honorable purpose in mid-flight, as shapes half seen startle a shying steed. Well then, to rid thee of this foolish fright, hear why I came, and learn whose eloquence urged me to take compassion on thy plight. While I was with the spirits who dwell suspense, a lady summoned me, so blessed, so rare, I begged her to command my diligence. Her eyes outshone the firmament by far, as she began in her own gracious tongue, gentle and low, as tongues of angels are. O courteous Mantuan, whose skill in song keeps green on earth a fame that shall not end, while motion rolls the turning spheres along, a friend of mine, who is not fortune's friend, is hard beset upon the shadowy coast. Terrors and snares his fearful steps attend, driving him back. Yea, and I fear almost I have risen too late to help, for I was told such news of him in heaven, he's too far lost. But thou, go thou, lift up thy voice of gold, try every needful means to find and reach and free him, that my heart may rest consoled. Beatrice I am, who thy good speed beseech. Love that first moved me from the blissful place whither I'd fain return, now moves my speech. Lo, when I stand before my Lord's bright face, I'll praise thee many a time to him. Thereon she fell on silence. I replied apace, Excellent lady, for whose sake alone the breed of men exceeds all things that dwell closed in the heaven whose circles narrowest run, to do thy bidding pleases me so well, that were it already done, I should seem slow. I know thy wish, and more needs not to tell. Yet say, how can thy blessed feet bear to know this dark road downward to the dreadful centre, from that wide room which thou dost yearn for so? Few words will serve, if thou desire to enter thus far into our mystery, she said, to tell thee why I have no fear to venture. Of hurtful things we ought to be afraid, but of no others, truly, inasmuch as these have nothing to give cause for dread. My nature, by God's mercy, is made such as your calamities can nowise shake, nor these dark fires have any power to touch. Heaven hath a noble lady, who doth take ruth of this man thou goest to disensnare, such that high doom is cancelled for her sake. She summoned Lucy to her side, and there exhorted her, Thy faithful votary needs thee, and I commend him to thy care. Lucy, the foe to every cruelty, ran quickly and came and found me in my place beside ancestral Rachel, crying to me, how now, Beatrice, God's true praise? No help for him who once thy liegeman was, quitting the common herd to win thy grace? Dost thou not hear his piteous cries, alas? Dost thou not see death grapple him on the river whose furious rage no ocean can surpass? When I heard that, no living wight was ever so swift to seek his good or flee his fear, as I from that high resting place to sever and speed me down, trusting my purpose dear to thee, and to thy golden rhetoric, which honors thee and honors all who hear. She spoke, and as she turned from me, the quick tears starred the luster of her eyes, which still spurred on my going with a keener prick. Therefore I sought thee out, as was her will, and brought thee safe off from that beast of prey which barred thee from the short road up the hill. What ails thee then? Why this dull delay? Why bring so white a liver to the deed? Why canst thou find no manhood to display, when 3 such blessed ladies deign to plead thy cause at that supreme assize of right, and when my words promise thee such good speed? As little flowers, which all the frosty night hung pinched and drooping, lift their stalks, and fan their blossoms out, touched by the warm white light, so did my fainting powers, and therewith ran such good, strong courage round about my heart, that I spoke boldly out, like a free man. O blessed she that stooped to take my part! O courteous thou, to obey her true discerning speech, and thus promptly to my rescue start! Fired by thy words, my spirit now is burning, so, to go on and see this venture through, I find my former stout resolve returning. Forward, henceforth there's but one will for two, thou master, and thou leader, and thou Lord. I spoke. He moved. So, setting out anew, I entered on that savage path and froward.